Saraya and Mercedes are already teasing something major, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also check out some news behind some returns, the Demon Finn Balor, and more. Let's start things off with a big update from AEW's All In event. This event was held inside of Wembley Stadium and broke the record for the highest paid attendance for a pro wrestling show, with 81,035 fans being present at the stadium. It also featured Saraya capturing her first women's world title in nearly 9 years. The last time she won a world title was back in late 2014, and even though she was with WWE for several years after that, she just never came close to capturing another world title. In 2015-2016, she was dealing with many injuries and even suspensions from the company. She made a surprise recovery and returned in 2017 to lead Absolution. But as everyone knows, the run was cut extremely short when she was nearly paralyzed during a freak accident a few months later at a live event match. She stayed managing Absolution for a while before announcing her full retirement from WWE, only in her mid-20s. She was brought back as SmackDown General Manager for a while until WWE scrapped that position as well. She managed Asuka and Kairi Sane for a bit, but that was also taken away, and she was never really used on WWE television again after that. She was used on WWE's Backstage show and made one single SmackDown appearance via satellite in 2020. Her WWE contract quietly expired a few years back, and WWE reportedly didn't reach out for an extension at all. So that led to Saraya signing with AEW and getting clearance to compete in the ring after everyone thought she'll never wrestle again. And now at AEW All In front of the biggest paid attendance crowd in pro wrestling history, and in front of friends and family, she captured her first world title in nearly a decade. So just an unbelievable story and journey there so far. Saraya even recently told Insider that she'd love to do a sequel to her original movie, Fighting With My Family. That movie followed Saraya's story from the very beginning and ended with her arrival in WWE. So she wants the sequel to follow everything that happened in her life the years that followed that. And like we saw it All In with that moment of her capturing a world title again. After everything that has happened, that would just be the perfect storybook ending for this sequel. And it also looks like Saraya's title reign could feature some massive dream feuds that nobody even saw coming. Mercedes Mone, formerly known as Sasha Banks, was shown on the main broadcast during the show with a nameplate and everything. And the belief and rumor is that Mercedes is coming to AEW as soon as she's medically cleared to compete. She's still recovering from some injuries. Saraya even said at the press conference that she wants to win the title in front of Mercedes and can't wait for her to join AEW. This is a dream match that Saraya has been talking about for years now, and it seems like she's about to get it. Saraya always wanted the match because the last person she ever wrestled in WWE was Mercedes. So to now revisit that match 6 years later is something that Saraya always wanted. So not only is Mercedes coming to AEW, but we got a very strong chance of seeing Saraya versus Mercedes take place again, which was nearly impossible to think about just a few years back. But now it's here and happening potentially real soon. The Demon Finn Balor has become a very rare sight to see in WWE. The Demon persona was heavily used for Finn Balor in NXT and during his early days on the main roster. There was always lots of buildup and excitement behind Finn Balor bringing in the Demon for a match, but in recent years it became even more of a rare thing to see. Within the last few years alone, the Demon Finn Balor has only been brought up twice, and they both were in losing efforts. The Demon appeared in 2021 to face Roman Reigns, but couldn't get the job done. And then Finn Balor brought him back for WrestleMania 39 against Edge, in a match that some fans thought that the Demon would win, but he once again was defeated. Road Dogg recently shared his thoughts on how the Demon should be used while speaking on his podcast, and he had this to say, quote, "I love it. I just think once you beat the Demon, he's done. I feel like you break out the Demon when you know you're going over. Do you know what I mean? I think that's from a booking standpoint too, because I think once the Demon loses, you go, oh, so he's not special. Do you know what I mean? So he's not otherworldly and part of you that we don't normally see, because look, is it real or is it not?" End quote. And Road Dogg brings up a good point, because that's basically what's been happening with the Demon. It's a tough situation because you don't want to make him too overpowered to the point where we just automatically expect him to win every single match he's in. But at the same time, if the audience just sees the Demon losing all the time, they're not really going to view the alter ego as that much of a special attraction anymore. And that's sort of where the Demon is at right now. We got a ratio of 0 wins and 2 losses in his last few matches. So if we ever do see the Demon down the line again, it's basically a must-win situation for him. You can't have the Demon drop 3 straight matches. It's definitely going to take a big shot to his overall image and persona. So hopefully the next time we see Demon Finn Balor, he's picking up a massive win. WWE fans have been asking a lot of questions regarding Pat McAfee and his WWE future. So what's the latest there? Well, Pat did his first work for WWE right around WrestleMania 35, and it was a role on the pre-show. Pat even got involved with Adam Cole and some storylines over in NXT. And just a few years later, inside the Thunderdome, WWE decided to add Pat to the SmackDown commentary team to be one of the main voices for the Blue brand. And the experiment blew everyone's mind and expectations. Pat was a pure natural on commentary and brought a very unique feel and vibe to it that we've never really seen before. There was a point where he was even working double duty as a commentator and also in an active feud with superstars like Baron Corbin. So he was doing it all, from matches to commentary and so much more. But he had to step away from WWE to fulfill his college football obligations at the time. He made a few surprise returns ever since then, like at Royal Rumble and WrestleMania 39, but he never returned full-time to WWE, even in the off-season of football. And Pat recently explained why he can't return right now, and had this to say during a recent question and answer session on Instagram, quote, "Now my business has gotten to the point where I am incredibly busy. We have 15 employees over here that are having babies and building houses. It's a tough thing to deal with mentally because emotionally, I want to be there in the WWE, but I just can't timing-wise. We will figure it out," end quote. So it looks like we can definitely expect more surprise, brief returns from Pat, but a full-time return may be impossible for the time being. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.